in the kitchen. Because it's easier to go for the snack at Starbucks or their little panini that they heat up. No judgment. It's just catch yourself when you do it and forgive yourself when you know you make an impulsive emotional food choice. Because that's what we're trying to do. If you can, 30 days, work with the alkalinity, understand it, and sit there and process so it proves itself to you. All I can do is, it works, because I lived it. I'm still here.
Email list, you said?
Yeah, sign up at the end of this, and I'll send you some charts, and you can then you have to become the Sherlock Holmes of your life. Jacques Cousteau. You have to get in and go for it. Because I can't give you discipline, right? No teach everything, yeah. Sherlock Holmes. Everything here. This is about your ability to assert your will. Here's the water. Come drink it. Now here, shake my hand. Now go.
Go do something.
Yeah, amen, hallelujah, praise the Lord, praise Jesus. That's what it is.
Yeah.
If we could all teach discipline, that's why yoga centers always stress sometimes, like, are people coming to the classes? They're going to pre-reg for the workshop.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah, just go. Just trust. But you got to market. You can't just open a yoga center and think that people are just going to show up. No. Especially if you run a business. Marketing, baby, marketing.
Yeah.
But that's an extension, again, of will. If you believe in who you are and what you're doing, and you're connected to your heart and you trust in God, you'll extend yourselves in the right way with ethics and integrity to build whatever it is you want to build. It's like, do you ever see Flash of Genius with Greg Kinnear? It was a movie based on the true story of this guy in the late 50s. He was the guy who invented, he was a tinkerer. He came up with the timing device for the windshield wipers. Where would we be without those 4 different settings on our car in a rainstorm where the windshield wipers could be controlled, little once.
There's a movie about the woman with the mop. What was that movie?
Yeah, same type of thing.
Same type of thing, right? Same
type of thing.
The ring mop?
And so his power was challenged because he was going to partner with Ford, and they lied to him and they stole his patent, and it's called Flash of Genius. And here he is, he fought for 17 years. Because he had to. His will was stripped. It wasn't about rejection. It's just like, wow, man, this is just wrong. And there's no way he was going to be able to reconcile, like they say in yoga, detach, let go, move on. I don't know. Sometimes you got to choose. And obviously his family it got divorced, and obviously the family felt it, but it was just one of those things that obviously it hit the ego so hard for him that he just needed to. It's tough. It's like honor. It's the thing with men, honor. Like, man, you just what you did was just wrong. And no one was going to hold Ford accountable at the time because they were like the biggest car manufacturer in the 50s. They really controlled the world back then. Henry Ford, it was the beginning of this big empire of car manufacturing. So it's an interesting movie for the study of the ego and how we can get so consumed. And I like Greg Kinnear. I think he's cool. I just like his movies. Little Miss Sunshine, you ever see him in that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great movie. So, movies are great. So get yourself some. Do you have any questions before we start getting into?
Do we need a mat? Because I have to go grab that one. Are we going to be okay?
No, we'll be okay on the floor. We're not going to. Most of the time, you're going to be down and. Yeah. Well, it's a delicate balance. When we fire up the core, we want to rev up the engine. It's just, we want to build it. So don't worry. The floor's.
Okay with a blanket? I have a blanket.
Here's a blankie. It's not going to be that bad. Hey, what's going on? Question.
Yes, question. Beyond food, what was it that brought you back into a state of balance where you are, or you're seeking to be in?
Well, I would say I spent all of my 20s following a breadcrumb trail, just figuring it out. Starting, yoga made me feel like, wow, okay, this is what energy feels like in the body. Qi Kong and with my Sifu, Xing Yang Ming. He's a Shaolin monk in the city, the USA Shaolin Temple. So all that physical stuff started to help me feel the surge. And that was like, wow, my brain lit up. But then I would feel after 2 days it would wear off. Leaky ship hull, leaky gut, still working through the food. And you have to eat a lot. When you eat well, you got to eat a lot. You'll eat a lot. You're not going to you're not going to eat carrots and gain weight. Not really. Not if things are balanced, and then you start to rebalance the thyroid, which controls your metabolism. And that's off balance too because of this. Every other gland starts to struggle because of the absorption. It's all good. Just like I said, you just got to get inside, going within. So, if you're not, let me finish that. So yeah, so it kept going. And I got to the point where I was feeling good, and I felt like I had got to a place of maintenance, but something wasn't quite right. The energy levels were still kind of wavering. And then I opened up a spa magazine at Whole Foods and said Hippocrates. And it's a raw food living institute started by Ann Wigmore down in Florida. And I went down there for several months, and I just basically drank so much wheatgrass and put wheatgrass in so many places that, if you really want to know. 16-ounce tray of wheatgrass in an enema bag on my back, up my colon. Yeah, I'm a master of the colon. It's very talented. It can whistle Dixie and sing Kumbaya. I shit you not, I spent seven nights a week, 7 years, every night, with a big bag of wheatgrass juice going up my colon to heal the tissue linings, to get the wheatgrass into the liver and into the bloodstream to absorb. Because wheatgrass is an astringent, so it pulls out mercury, aluminum, all the toxic metals. It's a purifying agent. I'm not saying it has to get that bad or extreme. I just, I feel so close to all of you now.
And you've
Yeah.
gotten to the point now in healing that, like, I struggle with lots of food allergies, that you're able to eat things that you weren't able to eat before you did this?
Yeah, but and when I do it, I'm fine. But I choose not to because, like, I'll look
Right.
at, like, if I have pizza, it's awesome because my relationship. I don't even get bloated. I'll eat like 5 pieces, like every 2-3 months. I'll have 5 slices of pizza, preferably with artichoke and olives and garlic. And I sit there and like everything's light. Because I'm not bombarding every day. I'm not having a slice of
I'm
pizza for
eliminating
lunch.
one thing after the other, trying to get to a place where I feel good.
Right.
And wondering if I'll ever heal enough to get those things back.
Well, don't wonder. You just got to believe you will, and you're committed to the journey because this is your karma. You have to. Or you can give up. It's your choice. What do you want to do?
Oh, I don't want to be sick anymore.
That's there you go. So you're on your way. Now the whole thing is when you're not sick. You're just, your body is saying, I need you to look at me. I need you to look within. And when you're guided to food that you can tolerate, you got to keep a journal. You have to see this as a science experiment for a while till you understand the relationship of the microflora, the yeast, and all that, and make a list of what your body enjoys, what your body gets triggered, if there's an allergic reaction. Like I said, I was guided to 10 foods for 3 years because those were the foods that helped me
That's where
restabilize
I'm
some
at right
degree.
now.
Good, and so enjoy it. Welcome.
Yes, I feel better. And I just, every once in a while you
You cheat.
you get pulled. You just want to have just
You
a
want to
little
be.
of
You
that
want to
thing
feel
you
like
missed.
you want to feel like a regular person, but you're not. You're like, your body is saying, "Eat these, please eat these." It's like my nephew Brendan was born pre-Asperger's. His hand would always do this. They thought he was going. He thought he was Asperger's, and he was deathly allergic to. He touches wheat, his throat closes. He touches peanut oil. He EpiPen. He still carries an EpiPen at 13. He almost died in Disneyland. And that was but my sister and I sat down. I said, look, macrobiotic. Let's do like lean chicken and vegetables. No carbs, no bread.
Did that
Now-
have some effect on the Asperger's by any chance? I have that too.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Yeah, see, that's
See, this thing, I have this, I have that, I have this.
My
Well,
son has Asperger's, that's why he is doing what he's doing. So.
yeah, and that's what I mean. There's a loop. So if you eventually start to change the diet, there's something with digestion and depression and mind stuff. It is related because of the vagus nerve. My nephew, Brendan, is now 12, plays hockey, straight A student. He's awesome. There's nothing. He has to eat a lot of vegetables and a lot of chicken. He can't still eat wheat, but there's certain foods. Once you strip the body at that point, he's starting to be able, he can touch wheat and he only gets a little bit of a rash now. So maybe by the time he's 21, All right. So, what time is it? How much time?
5:05.
5:05. And we go to,
You go to 6.
yeah, okay. Because I didn't know.
I guess, I'm sorry, I just said 6
Oh,
because I want
what time do you have the real time?
Guessing you guys
Yeah.
are sick.
it's 5:07. We
I
can
know
just
that,
stay
but
here.
we go to,
6.
yes, okay.
At least.
At least, yeah. So you have to embrace and love these 10 foods or whatever it is you do. You make a list and you rotate and you get in the kitchen because getting in the kitchen is a Buddhist experience. You're quiet, you work with the food, you're breathing. You won't even realize it. You'll start to calm down by just being still and working with food. Especially if it's good food. It's like it's talking to you. I mean, that sounds weird and like super spiritual, but it's talking to you. You are connected to this process of touching it and holding it and preparing it and staring at it. You know, and you're quiet. You shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't be on the phone. When you're in the kitchen, turn off the phone. Keep the phone out of the kitchen. Sure.
It's a meditation.
Well, it
Cooking
can be.
10 foods,
It
yep.
can be. Whatever you want. It's your world. Walk it out, sister. It's all awesome. But it's just about, this is my little sanctuary right now, my space to be in this healing environment because I'm honoring my body and taking my time to honor these great gifts that the earth has provided for us, right? And if we keep pissing on the planet, which is what this whole weekend is about, let's rise up, start educating, empowering, get out there. We all know, but it's almost like we can talk and talk and talk until we're blue in the face. What are we all trying to do in little ways in our community to just keep the conversation leaving from here? Once we leave here, how are we going to just keep for ourselves first, because we have to model it. We're great telling everybody, right? Teachers, but live it too. Live it, man. Live it. That's the integrity. That's the authenticity of your mission. Practice what you preach, right? Yeah, make it love, get it down and that. You know, it's all whatever. You started it. So anyway, that's the beauty of this journey, to just understand that, like, how we respect. Like, you know, if you studied with Dan, you know, I'm always in the woods. I learn a lot from Dan, you know. We're good friends, you know. I dig up roots, I boil them, I make tea. It's just, it's a very empowering thing. Not that everybody's going to become super forager. Dan has made a very powerful choice in his life to really just connect and to know that every time you walk in the woods, if you get lost, you could actually survive. You can eat your way home. Salad bar! You know, and that's the beauty, because that's what we did in the old days. We didn't have like stores. We just grew things. We learned. Oh yeah, some wild onions. Let's have those tonight. You know, and it doesn't have to, you know, be a big part of your life, but to knowing that you have that relationship that you're honoring, like, wow, that can help me. The herbs. That's why the spice rack is so important, because that's where the medicine is. What do you think the pharmaceutical industry does? They own the world. They don't want you healthy. I mean, maybe they do. I don't think they do. They just want you to buy their drugs. And where did it? Well, but the bottom line is, and I have nothing against people making a living. I guess it's the honor, the integrity of how you're doing it. Your plants, your spices are like, you know, a pill is like a third cousin twice removed from the actual plant of the spice that you just ground it into the little jar. You know, you put that in the soup, you season things, you're getting a direct first or second level removed from the actual source ingredient and the stimulating immune enhancing effect of that particular spice or plant. It's right there. You just got to learn to enjoy the taste. As you know, in Ayurveda, they talk about it's just not sweet and salt. It's bitter, it's tangy, it's tart, it's sour. We have all these different tastes. It's like aromatherapy. Lavender smells different from clove, smells different from eucalyptus. Our brain has a different chemical hormonal release when we smell different things. Same thing when we taste different things. So, you know, Hostess frickin' Twinkies, they were about to go out of business and bankrupt. I was like celebrating the death of Hostess.
And then they're still around.
Well, they restructured.
What happened?
I don't know. But those Twinkies, you know, the shelf life of 2,000 years are the most addicting food, or I can't even call it food. Any other questions?
I just want to say something. I went to another digestive talk, and they said like 100 years ago, people like made all their own food.
Of course.
So you couldn't even go to the store and buy a bottle of ketchup.
Yeah, you made it.
Because that's really a processed food. And so for like every dollar they spent on food and medicine, like 90% was on food and 10% was on medicine.
Yeah.
Now we're the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
The processed food is like made it so cheap
Yeah.
that we spend like 10% on
Yeah.
food and 90% on medicine, and it should be that way.
Yeah, and slowly we're becoming like Walking Dead zombified because our energy levels are just deteriorating, and we have to keep doing this upkeep until we can tip the scales back in our immune system's favor. Through detoxing and eating well, and then the body finds homeostasis, and then these energy levels in the gut and the adrenals and the hormone systems of the pituitary and the pineal and the heart and the thyroid all come back into symbiotic relationships, so then we are absorbed because we've done enough over the years. This is the next 10 years of it's like taking soil that is so nitrogen depleted and you're rebuilding, so it's black soil, so it's really dark and rich and filled with nutrients. Like the new farmers are really committing, it's the soil, because the more nutrient in the food comes from the best soil.
What do you make for breakfast?
Soup.
Soup?
I'm boring. I don't know if I'm ever going to find a farmer gal to marry. I mean, it's just, I don't need anymore. I don't need extravagant visual presentation. Some of us like to see something that looks so awesome. It has an emotional reaction, the way it's presented.
Awesomely healthy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To what?
Yeah.
Juice?
Yeah.
Sometimes I will juice. Sometimes it's obviously lemon water, fresh lemon, to stimulate hydrochloric acid production in the gut, or fresh, squeezed orange juice. Maybe oatmeal, kale soup. I'm just, if it takes more than 20 minutes, I don't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Sprouting is, I could have a week's worth of food by just mung beans and wheat berries in a sprouting jar. It's like this much water, and then within 8 hours, they expand and they start growing and sprouting, and that's my popcorn. I smuggle that shit into movie theaters. That's the first step of living an empowered life, is you bring your own snacks to movie theaters. Bring your own snacks. I love saying snacks.
I love snacks.
Snacks. Bring snacks. Bring your own snacks. You have a right. They can't tell you. They try to say, no, you have to eat from our concession stand.
No.
That's the first, she's like, F that. The first step is to honor, I want to have an experience, I want to see a movie, enjoy myself, but I want to enjoy, I bring my own hummus. I bring my sprouted tortilla, I'll bring carrot sticks. I don't care. You just gotta have a cool bag that looks like whatever. Women, it's easy. You got purses. We gotta come up with like a cool man bag, like a little that this we can smuggle it in. Huh?
European man bag.
Oh, whatever. The whole thing is that's an empowered choice in that moment that you don't have to choose. You have a choice. Do you go for the Twizzlers or the peanut M&Ms? Oh, they're quite delicious, aren't they? But once you start eating well, you start to taste the chemicals and the sugars. You get away within a month away from the food, man. Your whole body starts to say, oh, what the hell is this?
Sweet. Like if you don't eat sugar for a while, it's just way.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And that's your body's innate natural intelligence telling you, okay, can we stop this? Can we stop this Twizzler thing or whatever the hell it is? We all have addictions. We're trying, just whatever, man. No judgment. Remember, judgment, observation, discernment, detachment. There's gray area between all four of those processes. It's like a scientific method. Judgment is just like it's a personal thing. You're allowed to observe. You're allowed to discern. Without judging or nitpicking. We're all where we're at. We all know what we know, right? We're all on a path. We're different trains on different train tracks, moving at different speeds, but we're all stopping off at the same stops at different times. Hey, how you doing? Hey, baby. And they get back on the train and keep moving. And we're just sharing the gifts. And ultimately, we're getting to the same place. Thank you. TM.
I heard a training whistle like this morning.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like these are the things I think about, because when you spend time with yourself and you enjoy being alone, because part of having a healthy, balanced gut, self-esteem, all that, is you're perfectly content being alone at different times and periods of your life. Do I need to be in another relationship? Do I need to end one and go into another one? Have I ever been alone? There's something profoundly magical and healing when we give ourselves that time to be alone with ourselves and to develop that relationship so that we can develop healthier friendships, healthier work relationships, less codependency, less distractions. Oh, I need a relationship to avoid, being in the kitchen. No, if you have a right relationship, you both should want to be in the kitchen. Rocking it out with mung beans, whatever. Yes, sweet with some sweet tunes. Yes.
I went to school for macrobiotics,
You did.
and I was blessed to experience Michio Kushi,
Mm-hmm.
and he had said, world peace starts in the kitchen.
Of course it does. It's in the gut. How you absorb what you eat, especially if the pH is proper and you're maintaining the alkaline. Alkaline is calm. Aggressive tumors, viruses, bacteria They can multiply faster if you're eating friggin' McDonald's and cheeses, and acidic foods will actually egg on an immune situation that's starting to infect you. So if you just get to the soups and the kales and the greens and the beans and everything that will just alkalize, it will kickstart your immune system to fight a more stronger defense on your behalf. It's important to be sick. It's important to get infections. You strengthen your body's ability for the T cells to go into the blood, and they go and charge, and they're there to help you. That's what the thymus is. That's why when the heart opens, your T cells mature in the thymus. So if your heart is really genuinely open and you're a caring, loving person, your immune system is really kicking it, because T cell production's through the mother effing roof. You feel that? That's the awesomeness. T cells. But if you're a narcissist, be a great case study. Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to just go visit Bernie Madoff in jail. He's there for the next 150 years. He ain't going anywhere. But he's the case study of the ego gone amok. I mean, you look at anybody. They're happening. Robber barons. It's been happening for thousands of years. Nobody has a right to own anybody. Nobody has a right to tell anybody how to live, what to be, what to worship, how to act, what to eat, what to think. Oh, you should do this. No. Just let's share. What do you know that I don't? What do I know that you don't? And let's not be threatened. I'm not here to compete. It's exhausting. I just want to eat well. I want to dump 4 times a day. And here, with all this good food, I've done 6 yesterday. One right before the concert. That's why I was so light and full of energy. It was free. I know. Well, no, you just... And yeah, speaking of the porta potty, you bring up a good point. This is for the guys, because I know the women aren't peeing on the seat, so it's just the guys remember to lift the seat up so we don't pee on the seat.
Well, they have a separate urinal thing if we use it.
Yeah, but still, there's somebody peed on the seat, and I want to sit on that, and I can't think.
Oh, no.
So I had to wipe it down.
Yeah.
Whatever, I just thought it was funny. Like, how, what, huh?
We didn't do that. I mean, you have to
You did that? You're
No,
gonna...
we worry about that all the time. We have to
So do
worry
you, like,
about
not sit down and you just kind of don't aim well?
Yeah.
All right, stop. Let's move on right there. I was just like, why is this seat wet?
Because you don't sit on that seat.
You never.
Well, you're not gonna get cooties.
No,
you don't want to sit on somebody else's
Don't go
yard.
anywhere near that seat.
The thing is
Especially the
Well,
porta
look,
potty.
the minute you walk in and look down, look, it's a Picasso painting in there. It's like, oh, look at that. Boy, it's Picasso. What are you gonna do? You cannot not see it, right? It's just poop. I spent
Just avoid eye contact with it.
No, I think it's fascinating. Look, Indian medicine, the first thing, Ayurveda, man, look, the first thing, the great doctors of Ayurvedic medicine in India, the first thing they're doing, before they even diagnose you, right, they're looking at your turd. They're going to look at it, they're actually going to smell it, they're going to stare at it, they're going to see what parts of insoluble, soluble fiber or non-digestible, what's showing up, right? The joke with corn, oh, look at the corn niblets in here. It's like a little Mr. Potato Head with little speckles. It's just... Everything, the strength of your digestion and your absorption is modeled it's like the compaction, and what comes out in your stool is where all the answers are. The color of it, the texture, the length,
Yeah, when you eat.
the floatability. You want to talk about digestion, you could pee in a cup and take 1 drop of sesame oil right onto your urine, and if it floats, your